One of the least spoken about addictions there is pornography addiction, and it is keeping you low testosterone. When you consume porn, it absolutely wrecks you physiologically and psychologically. And I looked into some of the statistics, and it is just ridiculous the amount of men that consume porn. But in this video today, I'm going to walk you through the statistics, the psychological effect it's having on men, the physiological effect that it's suppressing your testosterone, and the practical detox guide, which is a bulletproof detox guide. It is not a case of I'm just going to say, stop watching porn, it is disgusting. You are going to get something that I believe will actually fix this for life. So when I looked into the details, 60 to 98% of men on average consume porn. This is based on self-reported studies. 42% aged 30 to 49 consume it weekly, and consumption seems to peak in and around a man's 30s. Pornhub has 1.8 billion monthly site visitors, which is absolutely crazy. That's more than sites like Amazon, like Netflix. 1.8 billion monthly site visitors. It's absolutely ridiculous. And exposure does start very young. It starts at like 13 years old, which is absolutely crazy. And it is just poison to the mind. It is inherently very, very toxic to the mind and a young man's brain and an old man's brain. But what is the psychological effect? Well, the problem is it is a supra-physiological stimulus. And the problem is the average man now has access to women that even the most richest, most powerful man 100 years ago wouldn't have access to. So you can get all the novelty in the world simply by just clicking on your phone. Incredibly unnatural. That is incredibly misaligned with how humans are hardwired. It's going to desensitize your dopamine receptors over time because it is a supraphysiological form of dopamine. Effort is going to then feel incredibly hard, and it distorts your perception of real life women. It potentially makes you objectify them, and it just makes you very, very weird. If you're consuming this daily, it will make you weird. That is just how it works. And you probably will notice it over time if you actually switch on and think, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I actually consuming this? So what is the actual physiological effect that it's going to have on your natural testosterone levels? Because the truth is, it's kind of up in the air whether testosterone and porn consumption are linked. But it is, and I can tell you exactly why from first principles. So when you are consuming this supraphysiological form of dopamine, you're going to get this huge dopamine surge followed by a huge drop below baseline. And over time, this is going to give you a lower baseline dopamine tone. So everything is going to feel harder. You're going to get less reward from things that should feel rewarding. Effort's going to feel incredibly hard overall. You're not going to want to go gym or work or build a business, because why would you want to when this, feels so great and you can get access to it with no effort whatsoever? Why would you want to go gym? Why would you want to do all of this stuff? So this is why it has to be cut, and this is how it indirectly affects your testosterone, because the things required for you to get high testosterone are going to be significantly harder, and you're just not going to have the drive to want to do them, because dopamine is our pursuit and drive hormone, neurotransmitter and neurohormone. And prolactin is going to go up as well. So when you are using this daily, you're going to have chronically elevated prolactin. And prolactin you can think of as a shutdown hormone. And it also forces the body into rest and recovery as well. So even when you're overtraining in the gym, like properly overtraining, this can lead to chronically elevated prolactin because it is pushing you into rest and recovery. But prolactin is anti-performance when it's chronically elevated, especially from stuff like pornography. And it's going to blunt testosterone production when chronically elevated, as it shuts down gonadotropin releasing hormones sent from the hypothalamus to the pituitary, and this is where testosterone production starts. So it is going to affect the HPG axis, the axis which regulates testosterone output, the hypothalamic pituitary gonadoaxis. So when people say that porn kills testosterone, this is how. This is the first principle behind it. When you do ejaculate in general, prolactin does go up, but when you use pornography, it goes up significantly higher. So this is where the problem comes from. Don't see this as me promoting NoFap or something you need to do forever, because prolactin on its own obviously isn't inherently bad. It is bad when it is chronic, and it is going to become chronic from daily porn use and daily ejaculation or multiple times a day. So what is the practical detox? Because it's a hard thing to detox from, because it is an addiction, same as smoking, same as alcohol, same as drugs, same as whatever. It's all the same reward system, your dopamine system. You need to build systems to actually get rid of this. Discipline, willpower, it don't fucking work. You probably know that because you probably tried a million times, you felt like shit, you've gone back to it, and you just keep going through this loop every single day. So what you need to do, you need to unfollow any trigger accounts that you have on Instagram, like any girls shaking their ass at you on TikTok or Instagram. These have to go. Get rid of them. Get rid of all of them from your Instagram. Anything that is a trigger on any different site, it has to go. You want to set up an app called OneSec. This is a blocker app. You can set it on there so you can toggle a box and it blocks and locks pornography for life when you have this app. So I would highly recommend that you do that. So even if I tried to go on a site on my phone, I physically couldn't. If needed, go nuclear, call your internet provider and ask them to block adult websites from your internet. This is what I highly recommend that you do, because then you cannot access it. Even if you want to, you can try all the things in the world, but you won't be able to get on there. No phone use in bed in the morning or in the evening, because this is when your willpower is at its lowest, so you do not want to be going on your phone in bed. And you need to seek real dopamine. You need to replace the dopamine that you're getting rid of from the pornography. So you want to get sun, you want to go to the gym, you want to eat clean food, eat steak, eat red meats, give yourself the building blocks to actually build dopamine. And socialize as well, because if you're on your own all the time, you're going to make this a million times harder. But like I say, you need systems, not discipline. But if you want to naturally increase your testosterone, I highly recommend that you download this free ebook in the description. Takes 10 seconds to download it. It's everything you need to get started with testosterone optimization all in one place. But apart from that, this is one of the worst addictions you can have for your psychology, your dopamine. And when you're using it daily and frequently, it's going to chronically elevate your prolactin and suppress your testosterone. But you do need to install this detox system. This is very simple. It doesn't take that long. You've just got to set up the blockers, unfollow the accounts. I'd highly recommend that you call your internet provider as well. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some value from it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.